All right. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kapadash. Second, I want to give double honor to Apostle GMS, well, beloved elders and teachers, our apostles, which been laboring for years. And, peace, blessing, salutations to the hopeful elect, to the Israelites, Hebrew Israelites, that consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, and to the scattered Israelite foreigners that may look like the other nations, but they are indeed Hebrew Israelites. Title, the dynamics of the relationship between men and women. Watching a couple of brothers' videos. Watching a brother, the elder Salaki, the elder from Cali, GMS Inspiration. I forgot the brother's name, the elder's name, Salaki. Salaki, I forgot your name, elder. But I was watching this video and I was watching another brother's video. And the thing about now what you're seeing is pretty much men are backing away from women, these American women. And what the notion, the narrate before, the Motown era, I can't live without you, baby. I'm going to give you my mind, body, my soul. I got all the cars and money in the world, but I can't live without you, baby. What we're figuring out, we're realizing the narrate, the programming of Babylon the Great was for men to worship women and bow down and plead to women. And a good passage to read in the Bible about women is first Esdras the 4th chapter when it goes into Zerubbabel. He explains women and how ultimately a lot of men have lost their wits because of women. And this is what you're seeing today. And one thing I can say, read the book of Judith. It also gives you a dynamic as well of showing you how women can manipulate you. Because we see how Judith used her sex appeal and her manipulation to overpower whole fairness. But ultimately, that was used to subdue that heathen. But you get what I'm saying. These women have been empowered, taught, programmed, nourished up by the whole society in this system to use their manipulation and by feminism, etc. They've been used to manipulate men, envy men, and destroy men and hate men. So what I'm gonna do is just read Sirach 25 and 26 because this whole overall upbringing of the Israelite men, starting from I want to say the 1940s, 50s, or 60s, but roughly 60s, when they brought in the civil rights, and that's when we directly stopped looking at the so-called white men as our enemies and thought they were our friends. So when we started intermingling and integrating with the so-called white man, that's when his philosophies took upon us, and we took upon their ways wholeheartedly. Thus came this what is it? Black exploitation, drugs, Motown, what is it? The Soul Train Awards, and that heavy manipulation and that whole narration that as if we won, we made it to the promised lands, just because we can entertain for the so-called white man and live next to him. So we were bamboozled by the television. And these women of ours, the Section 8, the crack cocaine, the drugs, the taking away of the ability that men can be men of our nation can be men and provide for our women and our children. That was all cut off due to the when we were integrated with the so-called white man. So what we're finding out now are precious, tender woman that we were taught to worship, the Queen of Heaven worship, because that's all. When you're born in this world, due to your mom, your sisters, your aunties, whatever, even a lot of your punk ass uncles, you were pretty much told to worship women because going back to the 60s, thus the matriarchy began. That's when the snares and those traps and the coercion started. So ever since with the 60s sexual liberation, the hippie movement, and it was many more different ideologies, the homosexuality, that was all packaged in and put on our people. And also, the civil rights gave the class of the so-called black people here in America, it moved them down even more. So the programming and the snares and the traps hit our people even more easier because we pretty much you were oppressed to the point where Esau pretty much took all the power from you, and he made it seem like the aid and the assistance that he was giving to us was from a sincere heart, but really it was a sword was in the so-called white man's hand. So what we're finding out now is mainly, our women has been put against us and not for us. So let me get this in Surah 25 in the GNT. So there are three things in which I take special delight, things that are beautiful to the Lord and people alike. It says, brothers who get along with each other, Esau tore that apart, neighbors who are friends, the community Esau took us apart, and a married couple who are happy together. And our people, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Hispanics, we do not know the concept of what real marriage is. I'm not really gonna go too much into that, but it's marriage. Well, you can read the book of Tobit, but our elders have dropped many lessons about what real marriage is. So let me see. Suraki. So, verse 7 in Surah 25, I will tell you about 10 kinds of people that I feel fortunate to know, especially fortunate in the case of the 10th. Someone who takes pride in his children, and due to the fact that our whole marriage structure um, is fucked up. So, nothing is sacred even about having a child anymore. Our women don't look at go back to Romans the ninth the first no Romans the first chapter, Slaki. Because due to the fact that we love this system, we love the so-called white man, we love this whole system that we've been brought up in. You know, like the scripture says, even the natural use of a man, majority of men they're moles, and but in majority of our women they're not women anymore. So they don't take pride in having a man's child. They don't take pride in marriage. They don't take pride in honoring their men or being submissive or helping and being a helpmeet. They pretty much, Esau told them about feminism and being whores and envy and despite having spite for men. So our women are our enemies, man. The majority of these women, they have a child by you. They will put that child against you. Well, it says someone who lives to see his enemies fall. 8. A man fortunate enough to have an understanding wife. A married couple who are well matched. Um, Let me see. So advice about women, right? So what we're finding out now, because due to prior women, man, the angels, they do no wrong. They can never do no wickedness. Women are, we were taught to put women up on a fucking pedestal. You're supposed to look up to them as a man, save them from everything, die for them, forget about everything you got going on, right? As a man, pretty much you're told to be Superman, a boxer, and I'm not gonna. You get what I'm saying? We're supposed to be everything and everything, and we're supposed to entertain women, make sure they're happy at all times, be their daddy, be their brother, be their friend, be their every fucking thing, And if you don't do it, one thing Samuel said that was on point. Women would take 20, 30, 40 guys and take an attribute from each one of those men and try to make one man. Frankenstein. I'll never forget when Kevin Samuel said that, because that's what these women do. Because these women are fucking broken. And due to the system, they teach our women to be so. Thus, our women becoming our enemies. It's like you have, and again, it goes back to the programming, the movies, the music, New Edition, the New Jack Swing era. What is it? Bob, Brian McKnight, Babyface, Carl Thomas, David Hollister, Joe. And how I know about this, because I was just speaking about these niggas. There was this adulterous ass niggas. They, they worship women. Jaheim put the woman first. Tank. Just a bunch of bullshit artists that came in and went out. And when you look at these guys today, they don't got it together themselves. H-Town, you go back to you look at these old videos, you look at these niggas, you look at these videos, like, why were these niggas oiled up and greased up like this? Moving in a provocative, lustful, mischievous way, And that was the 90s and early 2000s. I was a very young kid during the times those music. I had sisters, and they used to pump that shit. And that's how I know someone know about it. Immature and all them artists. And I remember even to this day, it was women worship, So going back, Salaki, so advice about women. And now all that programming, we're feeling the effects of it. Because one thing for sure, since these women don't honor children and don't honor and a wife, a lot of things unfortunately has happened amongst the men and women of our nation, and now we're feeling the effects of it. So you have women now just deleting their own children. You have men just dumping their own children. You have men, boys and girls just being brought up with no direction, no structure, no what is it? No form of care in the household, and they're just being brought up angry as hell. Again, the elder from the Cali, GMS Inspiration. I just watched one of his videos about the lion is going to be destroyed. Yo, it was a Jake dude, nigga, lion. The nigga, how you should say, stole off on the girl's mother, and you can tell that nigga he was just retarded, man. The nigga just ain't got it. But due to all this fucked up households, no dads, no men around, no leaders, no father figures, role models, wrong indirected hatred towards each other, um, no community, no laws, statutes, commandments, no ethics, no morals. And again, just not knowing what to form, no sex education, no marriage, no laws, and no instruction on marriage. This is what has happened amongst our people. So, girls, and to be honest with you, it's fucked up, but a lot of kids were born off of drugs, off of just a mere fling, one night stand, alcohol, liquor, weed, perks. How? So as a man might can, if he have a child and whatever, he might can, maybe, I don't know, but a woman is never going to tell her child, or I don't. It's new generation. I was just talking about that. A woman's not going to sit there and tell her child, um, yes, son, or yes, daughter, you, I made you off of a one night stand. I was drunk and high. You know, things like that are not being said and not being talked about, and but unfortunately, a lot of the things are are happening amongst our people. There's just a lot of fuckery, man. And and again, what we're seeing now is the effects of not having the law, statute, commandments, and this is the recompense for our disobedience towards Yahweh Shah. So what you're about to see is start seeing a lot of judgment. Slocky on the rant, but going on to advice about women, right? Because we're figuring out these women are our enemies. They're not our women. And you got to realize that. So all this, you're going out late at night, the dating scene, you can forget about it, all right? So it said, no wound is as serious as wounded love. I'll read that again. No wound is as serious as wounded love. And we understand the relations between the so-called black man and woman, even so-called Latina Hispanic women, is wounded. And this is why, and due to feminism in this American system, that's why the men and women of our nation, we clash, because the whole system was perpetually designed to destroy us as a nation. This is why they promote jealousy between other women. That's why they promote monogamy. That's why they promote men. If a black man have more than one woman, he's the worst thing ever. But the so-called white man, when he had us in slavery, he had his white woman and he had the so-called black woman as a sex concubine, slave, whatever. But whatever. But it's a lot of things that they play on the mind with the programming and television, which has scarred our people. Fear. I remember Kevin Samuelson talking a lot about that. How the fear of watching TV, they implemented. Big Mama implemented that fear in her daughter, and your mother implemented that fear into your sister. Thus, that's why your parents, your grandmother and your mother pushed your sister so hard to get a college degree and get money and make money and get a career, and not be a wife. Because I'm honest. I come from the '90s. I never heard that and a lot of you not. I've never had a virgin. I never saw a girl, and I grew up all amongst the East Coast and even in the islands. I've never seen a girl that was a woman of our nation that was grabbed up and was molded to be a wife. Or everything I ever heard in my life was a woman getting an education, money, and a career. That's all I heard. And thus she was pushed into the system, into believing this system. So thus she doesn't believe in a man. She doesn't believe in you. And this is that programming. So no troubles are as serious as the troubles that women cause. And you're seeing that now. A lot of reason why our dwelling places are messed up. Why? Because of the matriarchy. And Esau put it like that so the problems can arise. So it says, man, 14. So actually, 14. This is in the GNT. No sufferings are worse than the sufferings caused by people who hate you. And again, this is advice about women. And we understand our women hate us. That's why some of the most atrocities and the most, like, oh man, I don't have to, you know, brothers got TikTok. I don't have TikTok. Both got TikTok. You can put in your phone, you can put in TikTok, and you just see the problems that women are causing these men. Men are crashing out. And that's what, and again, that's why men are fed up. And that's why these men are not, especially black men, they're not fucking with so-called black women anymore. Because this whole, man, like the 90s, the late 90s, man, so-called black women was on her her high horse, pretty much putting the so-called black man down, doing treason, a traitor, and, basically telling the world, yo, I don't need my man, and it trickled down to Hispanics and Latino women as well, West Indian women, but that's the system. This is the American system, the Babylon system, which was was put in power to take peace from the earth. Because this program, it takes peace from your mind. If you love the system and you worship and honor the system, best believe you're not sleeping good at night. And unfortunately, nobody's sleeping good at night. Women hate men, and men are like, yo, fuck this, man. I'm not dealing with these women, So, yeah, no revenge is worse than revenge taken by an enemy. And these women, they are our enemies. And, one thing you always got to remember, right, about feminism. If you're in a conversation, and it's a conversation, you just talk in a conversation. How was? Let me see. A man talks about having other women, right, or what men do. But a woman will look at you. Oh, so you're saying men can just do it? Why can't women do it? But you ask yourself, if this was so bad, if men aren't allowed to have more than one woman, then it's a bad thing for men to have more than one woman. Well, bitch, why you want to be like me? You would think that's how feminism is a highway to hell, a path to destruction. Because if feminism was really to make women more feminine, they would be the most soft spoken thing. They would be basically virgins, uh, uh, not touched, pretty much available. Because if men were so bad and men were so wrong of them bringing up men, women would not fuck with us. Women wouldn't be nothing like us. But the whole focal point is envy. And when you look up envy, I could bring that up later. But pretty much women envy that what meant that they can't be like a man. So what women do? Oh, if a man could do it, why can't women do it? So the whole focal point of feminism is to be like a man and be spiteful towards a man, not submit to him, shun him, and take his position. That's pretty much the whole aspect of feminism, and that has trickled down to our women. So this is the reason why it's not good to fuck with our women, because they're not behind us; they are our enemies, and it's saying it right here. And if you still got that mindset, that old New Jack Swing era, baby, dancing, that fucking New Edition bounce dance shit they used to do. You singing Gerald Levert ass niggas, you singing to these women. If you still underneath that spirit, just be ready to get devoured, man. Because women, they sniff that weak ass shit on you, and they know that. Yeah. Hey, that brother's on point. Hey, Shalom, GMS, Salvation of the Elect. Yeah, yep, that's it. Envy, the feeling that you wish you had something that someone else has. Yep, these women want to be like men, and they hate the fact that men can have more than one woman. Men have power, and we're stronger. We rule the world, but due to feminism in Esau's system, these women envy that, and they don't see the balance, and they don't see the uniqueness of a man having that and being behind your man. Why? Because the system promotes that bullshit. So these women are envious of you. They are in spite of you. They don't like you. The so-called black women don't like you. So trying to jump holes and loops, taking these bitches on dates, you forget about it. Is she not going? I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm not invested in nothing that I gotta. How can I say this? I don't want to be so long with it. But pretty much, why would you chase a cat and a cat running like hell? You know you're not gonna catch it. That's pretty much all I'm gonna say. Why would you chase a cat that's fast as hell and it's not gonna let you catch it? Make that make sense to me. So it says, oh man, yo, this is whew. Verse 15, no poison is deadlier than the poison of a snake, and no anger is deadlier than the anger of a woman. See that? And these women get compensated for destroying men. They have a safe haven. They got the sisterhood. They get praised for it. While men go along, they're forgotten about, they're tossed away, you're mentally broken. That's why in all jokes aside, that's why it's very beautiful what Paul said. If you have a woman, be as if you have none, and if you're not married, don't seek to be. And that's very beautiful in these times that we live in now. And ultimately, you got to understand, as men, we don't have power. So these women have no fear of us, and fear is better than fuck love, man. It's about fear. It's about power and fear. Women only love a man that has power, and they fear you. And we don't have that as men in this side, because the so-called white man has depleted our power, and he has put our own woman against us. Because what a woman are spoils of war. You can read that, I believe, in Deuteronomy 18. No, not. I think so. I'm not mistaken. When he talks about spoils of war, the so-called Black, Latina, Hispanic women are spoils of war. And if you don't believe me, well, I mean, go to your nearest construction site and see if you don't see a so-called Hispanic or Latino woman with boots on out there in this hot ass heat working, slaving. Our women are spoils of war. So, and that's a heavy sign right there, because back in the day, so-called Hispanic Latino women, they didn't have to work. They didn't have to fucking work. They can put their feet up at work. They could be at the house, put their feet up, Nah, they're out there in that field working. So continuing on, I'm gonna read that again. No poison is deadlier than the poison of a snake, and no anger is deadlier than the anger of a woman. Right? 16. I would rather live in the same house with a lion or a dragon than with a bad wife. See that? And see, this is why TikTok and these other platforms, because as years been by, men never had a voice. Men, we try to just stick it out, be macho. All right, fucking bitch. Not say nothing, right? Well, see, men are finally coming out. This bitch did this, and like shit, like the T-App shit. These bitches is doing a lot of low, dirty, treason, traitor shit out here against men. But nitpicking, Because why? Because it's no punishment, and these bitches get rewarded. But you have a lot of these women that, again, they're out to get you. So it says, and if again, yeah, it's I would rather live in the same house with a lion or a dragon than with a bad wife. And we understand majority of these women, if you are dealing with them seriously, they're not good. 17, when a wife is in a bad mood, her expression changes until she looks like an angry bear. See that? Her husband has to go and eat with the neighbors where he can't hold back his bitter sighs. Why? Because, hey, we all done been around bitches with fucked up attitudes, man. We all done been around it. We all done had women that are in our family members that are just unbearable to deal with. How much more you dealing with them? She comes around, she just fucks up the whole, just everything, 19, compared to the troubles caused by a woman, any other troubles look small. Why? Because the court system and this system is for these women to destroy you. That's why it's not good to be taking any of these girls serious. And again, the time is coming, these women will get their just due. They're humbling. Made such women a fate of sinner. Right? So 20, a quiet man living with a nagging wife is like an old man climbing up a sandy hill. Man. And this is what we're figuring out. These women aren't wives. They're just out to destroy you. A nagging wife. They nag you. They take your money. They're entitled. They're not for you. They're talking to other guys. They're just fucking the worst. They'll leave you in a job down. They just ghost you. And I don't want to go too in depth with women from different areas, but they're all fucked up, man. Women will ghost you, use you for attention, and have another prick screwing them. Man, it's a crazy world we live in, with these women. But again, these women are empowered to be like this. They've been taught to be like this. They're taught to envy you. They're taught to despise you. These women ain't right, man. And see, this is what we're finding out in these last days. That's why, as men, especially men that are in this truth, that's why it's best, brothers and Yahweh Shem Rashad. Do Yahweh Shem Rashad. Find your hobbies as men, work out, eat good, and keep this intact. Keep this intact. That's the most important thing you can do as a man on this side. I just told you in Ecclesiastes, what's the whole duty of man? Fear Yahweh Shem Rashad. These women, man, they come and go. Man, I'm just saying like that. They come and go. Don't ever be surprised, and don't ever be shocked. Don't get destroyed. Don't take nothing personal. If bitches wake up the next day and say, you know what, I don't think it's coming. Well, just tell. I don't think so neither. The door's that way. Go. You can salute. You don't need to fuss. You don't need to argue. You don't need to get bent out of shape. Let the bitch go. We got bigger things to accomplish. So I'm going to jump right with verse 23. A bad wife will make her husband gloomy and depressed. I remember Griffin had that stand. And break his heart. Show me a timid man who can never make up his mind, and I will show you a wife who doesn't make her husband happy. Sin began with a woman, and we must all die because of her. Don't let a bad wife have her way any more than you allow a water to leak from your kisser. You know, if you let water leak in any of your household, your bill will be high as hell. So I don't, and I'm pretty sure we want to save some money in our pockets, right? But if a bitch has caused you problems, hey, get rid of the bitch, man. Simple and plain. So, Surah 26. Let me see what it says. Right? I didn't mean to make it this long. So, Surah 26. The husband of a wife is a fortunate man. He will live twice as long because of her. So, you know, when a woman is behind her man, hey, a man, you can see it on. I mean, you can see it, and I'm gonna say it like this too: between a bitch on the street, a whore, and in between a different glow to herself. And she doesn't look so hard in the face because when a bitch is in the streets and she's by herself, she has to work double. She has to work extra hard. So a fine, let me see. So verse 5, right? There are four things that scare me: vicious rumors spread around town, a gathering mob, false accusations. These are all worse than death. But a woman jealous of another woman causes heartache and grief. Her tongue lashes out at everyone. And this is that program system that's been set up. And this is why polygamy is like you speaking, yo. But this is what constantly they teach on. I mean, teach. They push on TV. Women just jealous of each other. And this is why the so-called black woman, even though they say they got a sisterhood, it's not. It's not a good one. Because all in all, that sisterhood is nothing but misery. It's not a sisterhood that's building them up. You know, they're getting together with men, with their husband, and they're building something, trying to build something, establish something, and keep things together. Now they're tearing and calling names and pointing the finger, false accusations. Oh, you were pick me, talking shit, whatever. You know. So 7, a bad wife is like a yoke that doesn't fit. And if something doesn't fit, what happens? It's not going to go in together. It's just not going to stick. That's like you working on cars and you try to put a bolt back on to something that doesn't fit. Well, you're going to fuck something up. Trying to control her is like holding a scorpion. Let's see what a scorpion does. How? On this, let me see what it said. A scorpion sting is caused by the stinger in a scorpion's tail. When a scorpion sting, its stinger can release venom. The venom contains a complex mix of toxins that affect the nervous system. Damn. These are called neurotoxins, right? So, hold on. Well, let me see. One more. It's not trying to tell me what else. Let me see. I ain't pretty much got the point. They fuck you up. So if you try to hang on to a bad wife, you try to make things work, and you trying to fix the relationship, jump through hoops. She's nagging you. She's trying to manipulate you, and you just don't see it. Well, like this says on the scorpion. we all know certain scorpions can kill you. It fucks up your nervous system. But that's what you're doing. So, a drunken woman is an infuriating sight. These women are drunk off what? Philosophies by what? This beast system. She can't conceal her shameless behavior. And our women are indeed shameless. You can tell an unfaithful wife by the bold and flirting look in her eyes. Why? Because these women are whores. And it's sad because we've been taught women are angels. And there's nothing wrong with them. We got to help them. We got to just stop anything we're doing. If a woman call you, stop everything you're doing and go help her, save her, entertain her, jump through hoops, etc. That's what we've been taught as men. Let me see. Verse 10, if your daughter, and remember, these girls that we're dealing with, they never had dads. They never grew up in a structured household. They grew up in a matriarchy. Their mothers taught them to be like this. Their environment, the TV, the programming, the system taught them to be this way. Big mama. If your daughter's determined to have her own way, keep a close watch on her. If you don't, she'll take advantage of any chance she gets. If she is too self-willed, be on guard and don't be surprised if she disappoints you. She'll spread her legs anywhere for any man. See that? And this is what you're seeing to this day. Women fucking women, Women fucking trannies. Women getting gangbanged. Girls just out here having fun. She'll spread her legs anywhere for any man who wants her, just as a thirsty traveler will drink whatever water is available. So these women, due to the fact that these dudes are just so available, and they don't have no backbone, and they don't, they just not. These niggas ain't doing shit out here, man. Bunch of adulterous niggas. They just out here, and so everybody's so deprived, especially men. It's like niggas is just, niggas is jumping out of fucking 16th floor buildings and backflipping right into their car and to the subway and skirt right to the broad crib. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So 13, a gracious wife is her husband's delight. Her abilities make him a stronger man. You're not seeing that. A wife who doesn't talk too much, they're trying to show this new, you know how TV wants to show the world fucking celebrity relationships, right? They're trying to show this Megan Thee Stallion. I forgot the dude's name that played for the NBA. I really don't give a damn, but they're trying to show this magnificent relationship between them two. And when they show it, this bitch is always talking. She's just loud, obnoxious, and you can tell the dude don't like it. But again, it's a part of the contract because it's the program of people in America. So it's the wife who doesn't talk too much is a gift from the Lord. Such restraint is admirable beyond words. A modest wife has endless charm. It is a quality too precious to measure. Damn, man, that's crazy. What these women can talk. They try to talk so benevolent and eloquent, right? But then the next thing you look at them, they always showing a titty. They go back to what they know, showing that body, being a whore. But the most beautiful, precious thing a woman can ever do is keep her body concealed, modest. And you can look up that word modest. The beauty of a good wife and her well-kept home is like the noonday sunshine in the Lord's sky. See that? Her beautiful face and attractive figure are as lovely as the light from the sacred lampstand in the temple that only her husband gets to see. But these women want to show the whole world. So you're not precious, bitch. You're dirty. in its light, and like its gold shaft set on its silver base are her shapely legs and strong ankles. See that? So let me see. But that's yeah, it goes into something else. But I'm going to shut this thing down. Those was edified. The relation, the dynamics of women and men in America, Babylon the Great. Man, just walk away. Like the scripture says, how you say it? If you paraphrasing, if if she sojourn to deal with you, you deal with her. But hey, these girls are recreational use only. You can get offended. The woman that's watching you offended all you want to, but just surely show you the bitch you are. But you men need your own recreational use only until proven further, no, until proven otherwise. Just like the American Babylonian court system, you're guilty until proven innocent. Well, that was Shalom. Those ways edified.